White Sox fans, this is your Sox Machine White Sox wake-up call for Thursday, June 27th, 2023. Happy National Chicken Finger Day. I'm Bennett Carroll. Last night, the White Sox lost 10-7 to the Chicago Cubs. Lance Lynn and Marcus Stroman, two pitchers who have been heavily rumored trade targets, got the start against each other. In the top of the first, Lynn got Mike Tauchman to fly out before allowing a single and a walk to Nico Hoerner and Ian Happ respectively. But he settled down after that, getting Cody Bellinger to fly out and Seiya Suzuki to strike out to end the threat. Bottom of the first, and the Sox got cooking early against Marcus Stroman. After a backwards K for Andrew Benintendi, Tim Anderson, upon review, beat out an infield grounder for a single. Luis Robert, the stud that he is, followed that up with a double to left center to put two runners in scoring position for Eloy Jimenez. Eloy singled into left center, bringing both Tim and Luis in and putting the Sox up 2-0 early. After a Yoan Moncada strikeout, Andrew Vaughn singled to left to put two on for Jake Burger, who grounded out to end the inning. Top two, and the Cubs struck back quickly. After a Dansby Swanson ground out, Christopher Morel was hit by a pitch, which allowed Miles Mastrobuoni to single to center. Mastrobuoni advanced to second on an error, putting, and tell me if this sounds familiar, two runners in scoring position with only one out. Tucker Barnhart came in, and the former Red singled to right to bring in Morel and move Mastrobuoni to third. After a Mike Tauchman strikeout, Nico Hoerner found a pitch he liked and singled to center to bring in Mastrobuoni and tie the game at 2. After a Nico Hoerner stolen base, Ian Happ flew out to end the inning. Bottom two, though, the Sox fought back. After a pair of groundouts from Oscar Colas and Sebi Zavala, Andrew Benintendi took a walk and stole second just in time for Tim Anderson to single to left, bringing him around to score and putting the Sox back up 3-2. Luis Robert ended the inning by flying out. Top three. Bottom three. Top four. The game goes 9 up, 9 down as both pitchers settle in. That is until Jake Burger stepped in to lead off the bottom of the fourth with a sinker that he found and drove into the left field seats to put the lead at 4-2 Sox. Oscar Colas followed that up with a single and stole second around a Sebi Zavala strikeout. Andrew Benintendi singled on a bloop hit that just dropped in, meaning Colas was not able to advance, in fact, almost getting caught trying to get back to second. Tim Anderson then drew a walk to load the bases for Luis Robert, who hit a high chopper to a deep short, but Tim, flying down the base path, was able to beat the throw to second, bringing a run in on a fielder's choice and keeping the bases loaded for Eloy Jimenez. Jimenez smoked a double down the left field line to bring in Benintendi and Tim and make it a 7-2 game, chasing Stroman. Alright, the Sox are up 7-2. Surely they're in good shape now. Shouldn't have any issues, right? I mean, they wouldn't blow a 5-run lead in like the next inning or something. So anyways, top five, Mike Tauchman leads off with a single. After a Nico Hoerner hit by pitch moves him to second, and Ian Happ's single moves him home and makes it 7-3. Cody Bellinger would fly out and Dansby Swanson would strike out around a Seiya Suzuki walk to load the bases for Christopher Morel, who proceeded to single to left and bring in Hoerner and Happ and make it 7-5 with runners on the corners. That was enough for Lynn, who unfortunately we need to wait for before discussing the final line-on. After a Morel steal of second, Miles Mastrobuoni struck out swinging, but the third strike bounced, skittering away from Sebi Zavala and allowing Suzuki to score. Mastrobuoni then stole second, and Yan Gomes was hit by a pitch, loading the bases for Mike Tauchman as the Cubs batted around. Tauchman then proceeded to draw a bases-loaded walk and tie the game at 7. And if you think that's bad, you'll never guess what Nico Hoerner did. You guessed it, walked with the bases loaded too to put the Cubs up 8-7. Aaron Bummer came in for a struggling Joe Kelly and got Ian Happ to fly out to end the inning. The final line for Lynn, 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. His ERA for the year sits at 6.47. And I'll add it here, there are rumors the White Sox are in talks with the Tampa Bay Rays about moving Lynn, so check your news sources in case the trade happens after recording. Just to be clear, and we'll get to why it's next in a minute, but Bob Nightingale believes Lynn will be moved next. How would the Sox respond in the bottom of the fifth after blowing a 5-run lead? You know they went 1-2-3, pop out, line out, fly out. Top six, and outside of a Seiya Suzuki walk, Bummer got a line out and a pair of strikeouts. Bottom six, and you guessed it, 1-2-3 for the Sox, ground out, strikeout. Top seven, and Kendall Graveman hit a Yan Gomes double across a ground out, strikeout, and line out to keep the lead at 1. How did the Sox respond? 1-2-3. No, come on, they added a Yohan Moncada single in with 1 out. Otherwise, it was 3 up, 3 down. Keenan Middleton was in for the top of the 8th, and that's about where the game ended for the Sox. Ian Happ led off and crushed a home run to center. All right, well, 9-7. Sox can come back from a 2-run lead, right? Well, Cody Bellinger followed that up with a home run of his own to right to make it 10-7. After that, Middleton walked Seiya Suzuki before getting a strikeout of Dansby Swanson. Suzuki was caught stealing, and Chris Morel struck out to end the inning. Bottom 8, and the Sox responded by, you guessed it, going 1-2-3. Okay, 9th inning, good news, it's quick. Touki Toussaint, for some reason, is in and gets a 1-2-3 inning, and the Sox respond, you guessed it, 1-2-3 inning. Game over. Final score 10-7 Cubs. Some notes from the box score. Tim Anderson and Eloy Jimenez were the only Sox with multiple hits. Jake Berger got his 22nd home run of the year, and Sebi Zavala was the only Sox starter to not get a hit. The big news of the night, however, was a trade. Just minutes after the Sox game came to an end, it was announced that they had traded Lucas Giolito and Ronaldo Lopez to the Los Angeles Angels. Yes, Lucas Giolito and Ronaldo Lopez were traded together again. In exchange, the White Sox received the Angels' number 2 and number 3 prospects, catcher Edgar Cuero, who is a consensus top 100 catching prospect, and left-handed pitcher Kai Busch. The White Sox now sit at 41-62 as they head into a series with the 500 Cleveland Guardians. Today, the Sox will send Dylan Cease to the mound against Tanner Bibby at 7:10 p.m. Central Time. Just a note that I have to add, Bob Nightingale said the Sox will not be trading Dylan Cease, mentioning the team plans to compete in 2024, which, no comment. In the minors, the Knights fell 13-5 to the Durham Bulls. Lenyn Sosa went deep in the 6th and also singled. Adam Hazley had a 3-for-4 night with a triple. Yolbert Sanchez added a pair of base hits of his own. Garrett Davila got the start for Charlotte and left before the 4th inning was over. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Just a walk away from a 5x5 box score. You know Draymond Green's got to be a little upset by that one. The best pitching performance of the night goes to, and I am not misreading this, Brian Shaw, who threw a scoreless inning and struck out a pair. The Barons tied the game up in the top of the 9th before allowing a walk-off win and losing 5-4 to the Biloxi Shuckers. Adam Hackenberg homered while Yoelqui Cespedes and Taylor Snyder each doubled. Christian Mena fought for 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. Jonas Scalaro got the special shout-out for the Birmingham pitching staff, throwing 2 scoreless innings and allowing just a pair of hits. The Dash came up short, losing 7-6 to the Greensboro Grasshoppers. Tim Elko homered as a part of a 2-hit night, while Colson Montgomery had a pair of singles. Loydell Chappelle doubled as well. It was a bullpen performance for Winston-Salem, with Johan Dominguez starting the game and throwing 2 scoreless innings, allowing just a hit and a walk while striking out 3. He was followed by Andrew Dahlquist, who was not as successful. Across 2 2/3 innings, the former third-round pick allowed 7 hits and 5 runs, all earned, while walking and striking out a trio of hitters each. But good news! The Cannonballers beat the Delmarva Shorebirds 5-3 thanks to a 4-run first. Bryce Willits doubled in Brooks Baldwin before Chris Lanzilli homered to drive in both him and Jonah Betancourt. A strong start for Shane Murphy, who threw 5 innings, allowing 5 hits and a run, while striking out 3 and allowing no walks. Also a special shout out to Billy Seidel, who struck out 3 while getting the save. That will do it for this White Sox wake-up call. Subscribe to the Sox Machine podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/SoxMachine. If you enjoy our work and want to support, visit patreon.com/SoxMachine, as we have several different tiers of support, starting at just $2 a month for exclusive content, ad-free podcast and website, and first crack at our new swag. Enjoy your Thursday, and go White Sox.